Hey everyone, Mango7 here. How we doing today? Welcome to another huge data mine for Dragalia Lost. Thank you so much for the people from Gamepedia and or anybody else doing this fantastic work. You all make this possible, and are you guys ready for just, I don't know how long this is going to take, but there is a lot of information, and I really hope we can get it through in a reasonable amount of time. I'm going to do my best anyway. If you want to find this information, just search for Gamepedia. The URL is at the top. All of it's there. Thank you again so much for that. So let's first talk about the little cutie here, Elisanne. And Elisanne she's just adorable, okay? That's it. She's absolutely freaking adorable. And the best part about her, for some reason, and this just makes me laugh, is she is a Vampaladin. I just love that title so much. Another thing too, random note to Gamepedia people if you happen to be watching, I really like on Game Press it shows how she compares to other people. So on Game Press this would show 823 max HP, and then it would show in brackets how she ranks against other people. I think that's a fantastic stat to have, and it doesn't take too much of your UI here. So maybe think about adding that, take a page from their book. And one thing, my favorite thing to do, period, when I look at new units is see their voice actor, and we see she's voiced by Sayori Hayami. And for those of you who don't know, I love Is the Order of Rabbit. I have a Daki back there that a lot of people make fun of me for. Don't judge me. I love it. And she voices one of the characters from that show, which is just makes me like her even more. And the confusing part. We're on to the confusing part, and please explain this to me better in the comments below if you know how this works, because I don't fully understand it. I'm going to talk through how I feel like it would work, just reading it off the page here, and hopefully I'm right. So this is a 3-part skill, her Sacred Maiden here. The first one does damage and then activates Skill Shift if the attack connects, and Skill Shift, what I'm guessing, changes this to Phase 2, and Phase 2 then increases the team's strength by 10% and does the damage. And then the third one does the damage and adds health restoration. So the first one does damage, the second one does damage, heals, the second one does damage, boost strength, the third one does damage and heals herself. So I think it's a 3-part process. So you use it once, your skill changes to Phase 2, you use it again, your skill changes to Phase 3. And I think this ties in with Mischief Maker. And Mischief Maker does damage, and it also increases the user's skill gauge by 500. So I have to imagine the plan here is use her first phase, use Mischief Maker, charge up her phase again, use your first skill again, then go back to Mischief Maker, and then go back to Phase 3. So it's just a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 over and over again, like other characters I'm guessing, but a little more fluid and a little more active skill usage. I'm not sure the boons and banes of this sort of thing, but please let me know in the comments below, because this is the one part I didn't fully understand. As for her co-ability, she has 15% HP, which I think is great, just not exactly my favorite one. I would much prefer some sort of attack stat, but I think in the future we'll be wanting this boost for every raid we do, so I don't think that's terrible in the long run. She also has skill damage, curse susceptibility, and gauge accelerator. I'm not going to go through their mana circles because that'll just take too much time, but they're here if you want to see them. Long story short, they've all basically got about the same thing, and they take a lot of Eldwater. So next up is Althemia, and she looks absolutely adorable here. Look at that background. So cute. So let's go back here, and she is a 4-star healing light unit, and her skills are a little more self-explanatory. She has an AoE heal, much like every other AoE heal. But her second skill, instead of being another skill, another heal, I mean, it does damage and heals her. So it's an AoE damage deal spell that does heal her for 8% of the damage done. And I love this. I really like how some healers get 2 heals and some get 1, because that makes the ones that need a ton of healing output better for certain situations, and the ones where you don't really need too much healing, but you don't really want to go in without a healer, much better, because the AoE really helps out for things like onslaughts and everything, and you don't really need 2 full healers for that. So really like this set here. One thing I want to note is these characters seem really well themed. They're really do damage, heal themselves, do damage, heal themselves, so it just kind of makes sense for light units, especially when you're going against Halloween people. Really impressed with this. And she also starts with 75% of her skill gauge at the start of quests. She has poison resistance, which I do think is the least effective resistance, and she has a boost to her strength at full HP. Next up, we have Edward, and Edward is a 3-star light sword unit, and he is pretty fun too. I don't know how good he's going to be, but Edward is one of my favorite designs. I love butlers, I love maids, I like anybody who can make me tea or coffee. It makes me happy. And his attack is just a straight up attack in a line for his first skill, and his second one is an AoE attack that also heals, much like Althemia's second skill. So I do like that as well. This should full heal him if there's enough people around. He has the better buff too, the 5% strength buff. I do really like strength buffs. They're probably the best IMO. And we have 10% strength when full HP, curse susceptibility, and curse res here too. Overall, pretty neat character. I hope he's good. I'm gonna definitely try him out. I should be bringing him to 4-star at least, and we'll see how he performs. So next up is Silke. By the way, I'll talk about Witcher in the gacha at the end of this, just so we're not jumping back and forth here. Next up we have is Silke here, and Silke is freaking adorable. Take a look at this. Look at that little hand there. She's trying to be so spooky. Anyways, Silke is cute, and this is going to be really exciting to a lot of people because a lot of people saw Silke and assumed she was going to be 5-star, but it turns out Silke is definitely 4-star, and that is fantastic for free-to-play players or people who don't want to whale to try to get something. Unfortunately, her skill set does not look the best. It's just an AoE damage deal, but it also reduces their strength, which might super come into play later for some reason. And she also has a mix of HP and strength, 20% each on her abilities. So again, not the best there, but she is super cute and she's accessible, hopefully, and I can't wait to use her. So now on to the Wyrmprints. And again, I'm going to be comparing a lot of these to Fate Grand Order because that's just the exact same type of event, so keep that in mind. This art is bonkers, by the way. I'm really surprised we didn't get Halloween Luca and we didn't get Halloween Resfan? Resfan, somebody in Twitch. God, what's his name? I forget his name. Geez, I feel embarrassed right now. Either way, he's there, and this one fills the gauge by 25% at the start of quest, so this makes your 75% into 100%, and it also has 50% increase on your trick-or-treats and shadow res, which doesn't really matter too much. Maybe that'll come into play sometime. Ranzel. I knew it started with an R. I knew it started with an R. So that's pretty cool. Not the best, I don't think. I think skill prep is gimmicky and useful some places, but overall, not the best. And then we have Plunder Pals with 2 different arts. I love how there's 2 different arts, and they're like completely different. They're not even like slightly different. They're completely different, and it is like so adorably beautiful. Like, look at this, the ship in the background, all the little clouds. Oh my god, the birds in the back. I love it so much. This one's much better, I think, in 25% skill damage when it's MLB'd. It also has 25% more Snack-O-Lanterns and more trick-or-treat intake. Next up, we have, oh lord, I forgot about this one. We have Halloween Cleo Wen. Oh my lord, it's beautiful. So unbelievably beautiful, so well done. I'm so happy with these. And this one gives you 35% damage when your HP is full, which seems really bonkers, especially when a lot of these units also heal themselves back to full, which is kind of a sweet combo. Blindness res and increasing trick-or-treat intake by 100%. So really cool there. And then we have our 4-star one here, and this is Silke Lends a Hand. Again, absolutely adorable here. And this reduces susceptibility to blindness, increases attack skill damage, and again, the Snacker Lantern intake. So let's talk about what may or may not be in the gacha. We have a lot more to talk about after, probably the most exciting thing after this, by the way, so stick around. But as for what's probably going to be in the gacha, if this is similar to a Fate Grand Order event, I would expect Elisanne to be in the gacha. I would expect 2 of these to be in the gacha, probably Edward, to be honest, and I would expect Silke to be in the gacha, and then I would expect either Edward or Althemia to be free through the event. So there's a very good chance we'll get either Edward or Althemia through the event for free, which is just fantastic. There's a chance it's Silke as well, but I'm not sure which one. I feel like they'd want one dragon in the gacha, and then they'd want to put one of these. Edward makes the most sense since he seems to be the least powerful. He's also 3-star. but we'll see how Cygames handles it. As for the cards, I'm expecting Plunder Pals because it has Snack-O-Lantern intake, and I'm expecting Silk Lends a Hand because it also has Snack-O-Lantern. And if you look, these ones don't. It's just have Trick or Treat. And usually when something has a different currency, that's the one they put in the gacha. So they put this one through the event, you get this through the event, and then the other ones are the ones you get through the gacha. You're not going to need to pull for this. You'll be able to complete the event no matter what, I think, but it just will take a little longer. So that is really exciting to me. That's what I'm expecting the gacha to look like. Which ones were it again? Silk Legends, Plunder Pals, Althemia, Silk, and Elisanne is what I expect the gacha to look. And we will see more of that as we go. So now let's go on to the exciting parts. Oh no, this isn't the exciting part yet. We're almost there, we're almost there. This is Sweet Retreat. This is the house we're getting for our facility. One thing to note, these go away. These stats are gone once the event is over, but you still want to build these because it does increase your facility, and they don't seem too difficult to make. There is 7,816 Snack-O-Lanterns required for this, for a total of 177 minutes of building. And there's 30 levels, so that's 30 levels towards your facility, which is just amazing. Worth to note, you also get 150 what seems to be flat damage at max level, and I imagine this is going to be pretty much a necessity for whatever achievements we have, like the 1-minute clear. Next up, we have the important parts here, and we have Squash the Pumpkin, we have Halloween Horrors, and we have Revenge of the Pumpkin. And those are the 3 main quests we'll be doing here. And this spreadsheet is from the data mine on Gamepedia as well. If you want to see it, you can see it there. I love spreadsheets, by the way. And the exciting part here is the wing cost. And we don't know if this is right because they are data mined at this point, and we never know. But the ones we're going to be spamming look like Revenge of the Pumpkin, Squash the Pumpkin Expert, and Nightly Haunts. And Nightly Haunts seems to be maybe like a Cyclops, I'm not entirely sure, but either way, it takes 0 wings to do it. Squash the Pumpkin King Expert looks like the one we repeat a lot of times, and this takes 2 wings instead of 3, which is fantastic, or 15 stamina. But the important part here is Revenge of the Pumpkin and Halloween Horrors, taking 7,800, are going to take 0 wings. So this looks like you're going to be able to host and people can join you for 0 wings, which is just thank you is all I can say. And I really hope there's more changes to wings, but this is a fantastic start, and at least for this event, it's going to make the event much more doable until they get a better fix out. I think I said Expert's the one we're going to be spamming, or Nightly Haunts, but I think it's going to be Halloween Horrors by the looks of it, because it is 7,000 might. So if it's anything like the current event, we will be farming Squash the Pumpkin King for stuff to open up Halloween Horrors. Then when we do Halloween Horrors, we have a chance to open Revenge of the Pumpkin King. So that's kind of cool, and I'm really excited. And that is so much information, and my voice hurts and I'm out of breath. So let's stop here, and thank you so much for joining me today. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. As always, I really want to say thank you to all the new people, to all the old people, to everybody hitting that like button, to everybody subscribing. It makes such a huge difference. Like, I can't even express how much of a difference it makes if like 10% of you hit the like button, because that brings it out to 10% more people, and then 10% more people, and then 10% more people. Then eventually we get more and more people on Twitch. We get more and more people here. I get to make more and more videos for you, more people in Discord. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on Twitch or Discord soon, and I hope you like this banner, because I sure do, and I like this event too. I'm so excited. Bye now.